I put up all my stuff. I'll come back outside. Two white big ass cops, male cops, run towards me and say, "Put your hands behind your back." Yeah, they say to come with a return ticket. I didn't get a return ticket.
No, I went through Best Beyond Ticket. BestBeyondTicket.com. Apparently really? I'm in Sweden right now.
Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lala and I have with me my friend Sharhonda.
Sharhonda.
Ronni.
Sharhonda's a mouthful.
And I met her on a Facebook group here where she rates different businesses and establishments in Tanzania. And how's that going?
Oh, I love it. Like it picked up a lot faster than I thought. It's just called Honestly Dar. And like for me, I've been in customer service for a long time. So when I came here, I was like, okay, well, customer service isn't always going to be good. Sometimes it's really bad.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna get into that.
Okay. But yes, the page is doing really well.
So where did you move here from?
I moved here from Phoenix, but I'm originally from Chicago.
Oh, okay. How long did you live in Phoenix?
About 2 years. Okay. About 2 years. I lived in LA for about 5 years before that.
So how did you transition into moving to Africa, Tanzania to be exact?
About 3 years ago, I just had this, an awakening. An awakening. Like, so I had quit my job at Walgreens and I had just been at home. I've been praying, reading my word, and God, as I call him, as many of us call him, the Most High, he revealed to me my heritage, my lineage.
What is it?
That many of us, almost all of us, are Hebrew Israelites.
Yes,
in the U.S.
Here too.
Yes. I'm like, you know what? I want to go home. I want to go back to Africa.
Exactly.
So that was what started for me about 4 years ago.
Yeah. It's funny. Some people believe that we are from America. What do you think about that?
I mean, how can you jump to that conclusion when we know that the slave trade happened? When we know, like, it didn't even just happen here. It happened in the Arab slave trade. So, and then biblically, these are people who believe that, and they're also believers. It's like you read the Bible and you believe what it says, then you believe what it says.
I think so many people have been so brainwashed to believe, you know, that a different color skin are the Hebrews, are everything that's powerful, things like that, you know. So I think that has a lot to do with it, just brainwashing. Yeah. So did you come here alone or?
No, with my husband and my dog.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah, that like.
How long have y'all been married?
It'll be 5 years.
That's what I meant the other day, right?
Yeah.
It's funny.
We've been married 5 years in July, and I've actually known him since high school.
Really?
Like
I could tell you guys seem like, you know, really close.
We are.
You even start to look like each other once you get a little bit older. So how is he liking it and adjusting to it?
He loves it. I was worried because my husband is not African. He's Mexican and Puerto Rican. So I was a little nervous that he would feel out of place. But the Puerto Rican side of him just like
kicked right in.
It kicked right in. So he loves it. He loves the people. He loves, he speaks more of the language than I do. He's really more, he adapts more easily than I do. So he gets, like, he eats the food. He likes the people. He gets around better than I do. So he adjusted a lot faster than me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a brat.
What's the biggest change here that you guys have adjusted to?
Honestly, I would say the food.
Really? Why is that an adjustment for you?
Being from Chicago, we are foodies. Like we're like pizza snobs and hot dogs. And like Chicago food is Chicago food. From Chicago, you know what I'm
more
talking about.
American food.
Yes.
You miss the American food.
I miss the food.
I do miss the Zaxby's and the lemon pepper.
Right.
Lemon pepper Wingstop with the ranch.
Just ranch dressing.
Ranch dressing in general. Like if I could get the ranch dressing and use some of the chicken that they gave me here, like it would be amazing. It'll be good. That's the only reason I ever shopped at Wingstop was for the ranch.
Yeah, so good.
It's not the wings, it's the ranch, trust me.
It makes the chicken. It makes the chicken.
So what are you doing for work here?
Right now, so it took us a while to get adjusted. It took us a while to get settled, I should say. We've only been in in the house we're renting for like a month and a half, if that. And so right now, I'm actually working with a local who used to drive me around, and we're going to train people in customer service. And hopefully we can help send them out.
They need that, boy.
Yeah, so that's my plan, is to start just a small business that I wanted to be able to bridge the gap between us and us. You know, I don't see us as different people. But we've learned we have different qualities and different traits. Exactly. Yeah. So I'm actually meeting with him tomorrow so we can hash it out. And I would love to reach out to some of the places that we've been to, especially like the places that are owned by other Hebrews. And they'll allow us to come in completely for free and just give us a good review so that we can help train their staff where they don't have to.
So how do you go about opening up a business like that here?
Well, if it were brick and mortar, I would need, really that'll be my husband, because it's easier to do it when you're a couple, is what I've noticed. You have to have a resident permit and you have to have a work permit, a work visa here. The work visa, from what I've heard, that's the one that's quite expensive. Now we've seen a lawyer and it could be anywhere from very cheap to very high, depending on the process, what kind of business. Oh, from what I've heard, it can go up to about $5,000 USD. And I'm thinking like that's not bad. I feel like that's like mid-grade. Depends on what you do. So if you do tourism, it's going to cost you more. With this, because it doesn't really require us to have a physical space, and because he's a local, I could run the business kind of through him. So it will be his thing, and then I would technically kind of be working for him.
Yeah. So you have to partner with Tanzanians, with the locals to start a business. Yeah. And is that going to help you with immigration, like getting?
This probably won't, but honestly, if it did, we would have to go the route of getting a physical space. I know that's super important, but from what I've heard, you may be able to use where you're staying as your brick and mortar, as your physical space. And that was just what I heard from our landlord. He was like, if you're gonna start a business here, you can use the house as your address.
Yeah, that's what I love about here, the flexibility, girl.
That's true.
So, what are some things that you see in Tanzania that could improve? Because I know you say you do customer service, so customer service is like the biggest thing.
That's my big thing. I remember before I got here, I watched so many videos, and there was a lady I think she was from the islands, and she was like, when you come here, know that the customer service, will not be what you're used to getting if you're from the West. And I thought I knew what she meant. I have gotten some of the...
Why do you think that is? Why do you think the customer service is an issue here?
I think that the people here are very easygoing. So they don't care if they're not necessarily getting a service that is above and beyond, or even at par.
I don't think they're aware.
They're very used to they're very practical. Where in the U.S. we can be very impractical. We like service. We pay more money for a good service. So with them, they don't really understand how we like to be greeted, how I like to be served. And I don't want to make it sound like, oh, you're my servant. I want this to be like, even if someone from here comes in here, or someone from Kenya comes in to a restaurant,
Kenya, UK,
anywhere, you should be able to get a standard of service where you feel like you want to tip your server. Exactly. Because tipping is not something they do here.
And it's not something that even should be expected. It's something that should be rewarded.
Exactly.
And I never felt like the push to tip much. There is a few places that are aware, and usually those are ran by, the Jews, not the Hebrews, the whites, the Asians, things like that. And it's sad because I come here wanting to support Black-owned businesses, and then you get greeted with this attitude.
Karibu.
And,
it's like that.
Pole. And I'm just like...
Or no greeting.
No greeting.
I've gone to places where I've wandered around, do I seat myself?
Exactly.
Or what am I supposed to do? And I'm not a wander around kind of person, because I feel like boundaries are set for a reason. And I guess I'm just used to, that's my American mentality. If there's a sign that says, please seat yourself, then I'm gonna seat myself. But because I've eaten out so much here, I know that they want to be able to greet you and seat you. So I'll wait, but I'm only gonna wait so long before I'm just like, is anybody here?
Yeah, customer service has a lot to do with, you know, how you make people feel. Because when I used to work as a hostess, you know, you say you work multiple customer service jobs.
Oh my gosh.
I have as well. And every time I greet people, like, as soon as they walk in the door, hi, welcome to
that smile.
It's
you see that beautiful, warm smile. And honestly, you can't teach that. But it's something that's natural, but you can teach people to not sound like robots. Or like you just don't even care. You know, or look, just a look, you know, just smile. Hi. You know, something you don't have smile.
To be fake.
You know, it doesn't have to be Caribou every time because eventually that sounds forced.
Exactly. But a lot of how you make people feel, it keeps them coming back to your business. So the things that they are seeking here, like more finances, more money, like those are the things that you'll get when you give people a certain standard of customer service. And that's just all it is to it.
That's 100%.
So I'm curious, what, like, besides the Hebrew lineage, what brought you here? Like, why did you leave America, and will you ever return?
No. Short answer, no. Long answer, no. Honestly, if the Most High told me I had to go back, I would be obedient. But as far as I know, this is where I will be until he calls us out. So I chose Tanzania because I wanted to go to Africa, obviously. I wanted to be somewhere that didn't have really strict COVID restrictions and stuff like that. So I'm not into masks. I'm not into vaccines. All of the things that some countries in West Africa were expecting. Even some countries in East Africa. I think Kenya, I even wanted to go to Egypt, and I was like, okay, I'm going there.
I did a huge research on who is expecting us to get these shots and things like that, because I was like, I'm not getting it, you know? And that's what kind of screwed up my plans coming here, because I had saved up research. Like, it takes a lot to move to an African country. So once one person change, it's like they making it harder for us to return, and you kind of like working with our oppressors, Ghana, to, like, you know, just
it's like
deter us from coming.
And what's crazy,
you stopping the Great Escape, you ain't return. It's not a welcome to, you know, no, we trying to escape, and you try to put us into the same bondage that we're in America. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna do it.
That was one of the reasons I was like, West Africa seemed too familiar with the West. So I'm like, okay, well, where can I go? And there were plenty of YouTubers who have moved here, and that really helped them. Them kind of paving the way for many of us. I kind of consider myself to be like second generation almost, because there are some who have been here for 2 or 3 years, but they've been silent about it. We didn't really know this was happening. And then you have the younger YouTubers who are like, I'm in Tanzania, I'm in Dar es Salaam, you should come here. So when you're Googling, I'm not even sure, honestly, I can't even remember how I decided on Tanzania. I have no idea.
You know what?
In the visa process, it's one of the few countries where you can get a visa when you get here.
On arrival.
Like, I was still super scared there to be like, nope, you gotta go back. But it was easy. Like, it was, and we had a dog. We have a dog with us. So people were so infatuated with our dog that they didn't really give us much attention. So we kind of like slid in with our, like, it was so easy simply because we have a pit bull, a Labrador mix. So he's a big dog.
They say to come with a return ticket. I didn't get a return ticket.
No, I went through Best Beyond Ticket. BestBeyondTicket.com. Apparently I'm in Sweden right now.
I did that too. not right away, but so what was your biggest culture shock?
It took a while. At first it was like, oh, it's the food, or oh, it's the language, or oh, it's just the culture is different. Now and correct me if I'm wrong, if there are people from here who are watching this, I feel like they don't want us here.
Who is they?
The government, the locals, in a sense of they want us here they want our money, but they don't want us to be here.
Why you think
for
that?
Long term? I don't know. It's like, are you afraid we're going to come in and change the culture? I mean, we're pretty wild in the States, so maybe that's what it is. But from what I've seen, y'all could use some of this wildness that we have deep down in us, because we're advocates for ourselves and we'll be advocates for you. I have such a fire for my people, regardless of
maybe it's that crab in the buckets type of thing.
And I'm surprised by that. I mean, I guess I don't.
It's always like that when the colonizer have painted a picture to one group, and then the other group, like they paint us as wild when we aren't all wild, you know, and then they paint them as poor and all this.
Oh my gosh, you know, flies on their eyes, and
all this stuff. So it separates us and it makes us compete against one another, where we feel, you know, like they feel already that we have a greater advantage coming from America, and we're going to get a head start. Maybe they think we're going to take all the opportunities, but there isn't really opportunity here unless you make it yourself.
And we have, in order for us to survive and thrive here, we have to create opportunities, and that involves working with them. Like, it doesn't mean that you always have to be an employee. You could become a partner depending on your level of education. I have met so many very wonderful drivers here who are accountants, who are who gone to school for tax law, but they're driving cars because the opportunity isn't here for them in their own country, in their own city, in their own government. Whereas with us, if I needed a lawyer, a local lawyer, or a local tax consultant, that I could use them. Or just people who know the islands, people who know the water. I've met so many great people here who have all of these wonderful talents who are underutilized by by where they are.
And you know, it's like you have to create your own opportunity. So, you know, it happens all the time though. Like, we have this imaginary competition, and it's usually, I don't know, it's just so there's a huge misunderstanding, because everyone that's coming here that I've met wants to actually collaborate with the locals. You know, we're not coming here to exploit like other people. Like
so many other people. I've stayed in Kigamboni. I've been in Apunga at Ahuru Heights. I'm now in Unonio, and I've been in Tegeta. So I've lived in enough places, and I have been all over the city.
What's your favorite place?
Right now, as far as where I've lived, I like being in Unonio. I like that it's kind of far out. It's near Bahari Beach, so it's about, I would say, 30 minutes north of Bezi, where, you know, Bezi is the central hub for most people. It's where all the big grocery stores are. Unonio is quiet. The houses over there are beautiful, and I'm super close to the beach. If I wanted to walk, it would be 20 minutes, but I wanted to just hop in a Bajaji, it's like 5.
About how much is the rent over there?
Where our house is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and we pay $600,000 per month.
2 shillings.
So
that's like $365 a month. $365 a month.
And I love my place. Like, it's open, the kitchen is big, it's a really nice space, but we had to hunt for that. We've been here for over 3 months. We're going into our 4th month in about 2 weeks. It took us about 2 months to get settled, because we looked for houses with a Bajaji a Dalali that was recommended by a popular YouTube couple. It just didn't work out for us. He showed us houses in our price range, houses that were, I just didn't like. Like, I'm particular, that's on me. But when we found this house,
looking for
something that didn't have a whole lot of ornate, something actually that lacked character. Like, because the character that I like to add myself.
I like to decorate. I don't like the whole, like, especially the tiling.
All the tiles and like these bright colors.
That's what I didn't like about Ghana. When I was looking for a place before time, like, I like it to be clean. You know, so I can add my artwork. You know, I don't like the tiling, especially in the bathroom, in the kitchen. Oh my so much God.
There was a place that we saw that I remember having to tell the Dalali, I don't want anything that's pink or blue. I don't want a pink house, I don't want a blue house, I don't want any pink or blue in there. And he looked at me like, I'm like, do I have to say that? Like, one house had like a light pink tile all over the walls, and just like 1.5 spaces. and then they had a gold chandelier, and then they had a red and silver sink in the corner. I'm like, shoot me, I can't. I'm like, don't show me another house like this.
Putting these colors together,
I don't know. It's like, I think it's right. I think it's just what they like, and then the people.
How they don't match.
I don't know. I consider. I'm not that's what they're afraid of.
Yeah, that's what they're
afraid of. That we're going to come here and we are going to change it up so much that it won't be recognizable. We're not the people to bulldoze over your
Exactly.
Over
we're not
culture,
trying to bulldoze over the culture and like start a new, you know, but we do want to start a new Africa where things are improved, not changing the streets, you know, in a negative way, but improved.
Seriously.
Because things need to be improved, and when we say it as Americans, they have an issue, right? You know, but when they say it and y'all complain, oh, the money, you know, oh, we need more money, and you know, the economy needs to improve and this needs to improve, oh, it's no problem. But when we speak up, it's like, how dare you come from outside, like they don't
you think you're better than us, or, you know, it's so easy in America. Please don't say that again.
Exactly.
Like we're fleeing America.
Exactly.
We're running, coming here with almost nothing compared to what other people from other countries have been able to come here with, and we're struggling to stay here. But we don't. We'd rather struggle to stay here than live freely.
Exactly. In captivity. Yeah, you're saying a lot of what Maya was saying.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I mean, everybody that's coming here, for the most part, most people have like the same mentality as far as, you know, what we envision for Africa. And honestly, like, it's just like the people who have these small-minded views of who we are and what we intend on doing is people who have no knowledge of the transatlantic slave trade, have no knowledge of any of that.
Yeah, it's almost as if they got the little flashy thing from Men in Black and flashed it right in front of their eyes and like totally made them like completely forget. Because even if you look, if I take a closer look at the culture of the people just in Dar, because I know that Dar is like a melting pot, so I figure Dar's like DC or you know, New York or Chicago, where there are many cultures of people there, but the culture that seems to reign here is culture of people who are of Turkic descent. Yeah, like even a lot of the food they eat is very Indian.
Yeah, or Arab.
Or Arab. Yes, very like Arabic. Exactly. So it's like, what am I eating that's traditionally African? What am I eating here? Like, oh, it's ugali. Well, corn came from Mexico. Like, so that was, and oh my gosh, so ugali. I had it, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is just grits.
Yeah, it really is.
The amount of disrespect, I think I had caused by saying that we eat the same thing in the States. Don't say it, y'all. It's not the same, even though it's the exact same thing. We just cook out, oh no, what you eat is porridge. Ugali is strong, it makes you strong. It doesn't make you strong. Right. It's like grits is trash, and ugali is like there's nothing in it. Exactly. No nutritional value whatsoever. So
it's white. It's just white. It's flour. So anything that's white, it just fills you up, and then you're hungry.
Exactly.
Right away.
There was no nutrition in grits. There's none in ugali. That's why they had to fortify it, because people were eating so much ugali that they were being born with birth defects. Yeah, so I was trying so hard to connect with the local. That when I said that, he was like, "Don't say that. Like, you are not like they don't.
They don't want to hear the truth.
They don't want us to be similar."
And I realized when I try to give people knowledge about the slave trade, oh, I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear.
Oh, yikes.
I'm sorry. Like, that's the, you know, a lot of people don't want to hear it if I tell you the truth. Because I had to educate a dude from Zimbabwe because he was like, oh, we all should just be one and this and that. And I'm like, it's too late for that. Firstly, you clearly have no idea of what's happened, you know, in the slave trade. Like,
slave trades. There were two. Like, the Arab slave trade started at least 400, I think I want to say 600, at least 600 years before the slave trade in the West.
Just like Malcolm X said, educate your people little by little, because once you start to tell them a lot about and lift the veil off, you know, the people that they respect so much when they come here.
Right.
You know, like they don't want to hear it.
Right.
Especially when you tell them a lot.
That's the, like, so they don't seem to fully realize that they are in their own land, yes, but their land is being run by their oppressors. Whereas with us, we're in the land of our oppressors. So we have a better understanding of what it looks like to be controlled by people who took you. Where since you're here, you think that there's a freedom that you have. Again, so I've lived in 4 places. The one that opened my eyes the most was living in Uhuru Heights, which means Freedom Heights.
Where is this?
It's in Apunga. Apunga East, I believe it's like the city center is what it's called. And in that area, it's a very tall high rise, and most of the people in there have money. And people who here who have money are either Arab or Indian.
Like Masaki.
Or Indian. So, and I got to see that all of them had Tanzanian help trailing behind them, looking after their kids. These women looked depressed because these kids didn't respect them at all. They would walk as if you had to get out of their way, because sometimes people think that I'm Tanzanian. So I got to see how they treat you all based off of who they thought I was, and I was like, no, you gonna go around me.
What I realized is those places that they come from is failing. So they coming over here. It is a race for Africa, you know, they trying to colonize it again, you know.
And we're here trying to stop that. So let us help you, because we see it. It's so easy for us to see it because we have lived it for so many generations.
That's why I get this look of uncomfortability when the other ethnicities come here to exploit. You know, and they look at me like
it's easier for them to do.
They know where I'm from, you know, and they know like, oh my gosh, she's coming here with her baby, and then they're gonna have more. You know, they know that and what they want. They will smile in these local spaces, but when you know it's the majority of them, that's when they're gonna show you the true colors. But right now, it's not a majority. You know,
and over there it is, like over in that like city area.
Oh yeah, in that area.
They're concentrated in UH or Uhuru Heights, and then they're also concentrated over there by Karaoko. I'm sorry, I know I'm saying it wrong.
Karaoko.
Yeah, there.
I was saying it all wrong when I said
there's a Indian population. Like even all the restaurants are catered to them. The fact that they could come in here and set up a part of your city dedicated to their food and their culture, their people, X, Y, and Z.
Like Zanzibar.
Oh my gosh, I'm trying to avoid Zanzibar like the plague. I can't get
I was so depressed after 2 weeks there, because you know the beach is nice, it's beautiful. It looks like Negril in Jamaica, but I know I didn't come here to see you guys. I haven't seen enough of y'all in America. You know,
that's how most of us feel. Don't feel any kind of way about it. If that's not how you feel, you're watching the wrong channel. Seriously.
Exactly.
Because we came here for freedom, and what we've noticed is the people here aren't free. They're still being held by their captors, just like we are in the States. So what we want to do is we want to work with you so that you can get over the people who oppress you, because that's what they're doing.
Exactly.
When you're being hired to work minimum wage and y'all working hard in some of these jobs, they could pay you more, especially when you're seeing what they're charging us for things like televisions and refrigerators. Okay, if they're selling all these fridges and televisions and they're not even having to work, imagine how much money they're spending on
charging
getting
an import fee and all of that.
Exactly.
It's still paying them nickels and dimes.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And honestly, I want to provide jobs here for people, and especially women, where, you know, they're able to make a good amount of money and, you know, feel satisfied and happy. Because I don't want anybody working for me and they're depressed.
Right. Or getting paid once a month. Like, that's for the birds.
What?
Yes. Most people here only get paid at the end of the month. If I had to work 30 days to get paid, I would be pissy as well. Like, I'd be like, reboot. Like, I would not be happy. If I had any kind of restaurant, no matter I would love to open like a small restaurant that serves a very small menu of something that I like to eat, like grilled cheese, like soup, like just something with like a home food that I know people could miss. I would gladly pay my employees every 2 weeks or every week. And I don't think I should have to, like, I didn't come here to succumb to the standard that the country set, especially if I feel like the standard is too low. I know how it feels to work and smile in people's faces and they're being mean to you or X, Y, and Z. I don't think you should be, I shouldn't come here making all the money that I can make as an expat, as a Mzungu, please don't call us that either. And they pay you this small amount of money because it's expected of, you know, that's all you're used to getting. I want to show you that I love you and that I appreciate you. And if I do that, I want to give you more than someone who doesn't see you as a brother or sister.
Exactly. So what was the process like moving to Africa? How long did it take y'all to prepare to move? Because I know that is a long process.
By the grace of the Most High, it was super easy. Like, barely an inconvenience.
You got a team, though. Like, you got a team.
It was me and my husband, obviously, and our dog. Honestly, the hardest part was getting our dog out of the U.S.
Oh, girl, I had to leave my dog behind.
Oh my God, you're a baby. Oh,
but he wasn't really getting along with he was getting along with my daughter, but he felt out of place. Yeah, so
you have to understand. You can't have the dog fighting
like a single. It was just me, you know.
Yeah, they're used to you. You're their mom.
Yeah, they competing over my attention. I was like, it's time.
So we decided we'd already had money saved up because of the COVID relief. So we already had that money sitting there. So that was. Thank you, U.S. You helped me move to Africa.
Gotta feel it.
So we had a nice chunk of money saved up. My husband had got fired from his job, like completely out of the blue. It was right, and it was this unexpected, and it was uncalled for. And I'm like, I'm tired of this place. He's like, I'm tired of this place. And I'd already asked 3 years ago, like, let's go to Africa. He was like, Then he got fired. And we got evicted because he worked at the complex that we lived in. So
that's God.
Yes, it was. I couldn't see it in the moment, but I had some sisters that like really had to remind me that this is
that's how we were talking about. What did you do
to come here?
Here.
So like my life, like me personally, my job was great. I just gotten a raise, like a significant raise. My life was going extremely well, too well. And that was what I was like, because ever since I left Chicago, my life was like, I guess I say it was in shambles. I was growing. And then when we decided together that we were going to move and sell everything and move, I get a raise for my job. Like, my life just seemed too easy, as if I was trying to be lured into this false sense of security. Like, no, just stay here. You're fine. So what if your husband is getting ripped through the ringer? You're fine.
So you feel like that was the devil?
Yeah, I'm like, no,
I'm not today. With money.
It was
because money isn't happiness. Like if you really were feeling a pull to come to Africa,
like we
money
had
is not home. Like I feel like the devil was playing with me too, because it wasn't until I came here and I was going broke that all my stuff that I was selling back home people started contacting me about it. Oh, let me buy this, let me buy this, let me buy it. And this stuff that I left behind, I could have went back and sold it, you know. And it's like the devil was telling me, like, if
I'm afraid to even go. Exactly,
you have money, but I don't have happiness.
Right, and that's
so
it.
What is it worth me going back there just to sell some stuff?
So like I said, we moved in with my mother-in-law to save more money. And I was driving an hour to and from work. I'm sorry, 2 hours to and from work, where I used to only drive about 20 minutes. It was like a struggle for a good, so from December, so about 3 months, 2-3 months, that's what I was doing. But I had this mindset of, I'm going to Africa. Like, I'm not going to be here. My whole personality changed at work. Y'all gonna hear it today.
Exactly. That's how I was. Like, guys were trying to build relationships with me, and I was just like,
I'm not gonna be here.
I'm not gonna be here. So don't even try it.
Don't
even bother. It's not even worth it.
Yeah. So it was like that was the easy part. We sold so much stuff. The only thing that we had left was our RV, and we just sold that. You know, we just sold our RV for more money than we wanted for.
Once you do all that, it's like, over. Okay, I gotta
because that was our escape plan. It was just like, you know, when the U.S. comes under judgment fully, like what we're gonna do. So we had like food stored in there. Like we had been prepping for like 3-4 years.
Really?
Yes.
So you prepped for Africa for 3 to 4 years?
We prepped for something happening in the U.S. Like. We prepped to stay.
So you feel like something's about to happen in the U.S.?
Oh, definitely.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can feel it too,
There's so much judgment happening on a certain group of people. And the rest of us really aren't. The only
You better get out.
Like, we're thriving. We were thriving during COVID. COVID was, this may sound crazy, was one of the best times for a lot of African Americans. A lot of
yeah,
we
especially for me. People were doing their hair like crazy.
We were out of the workplace. We were working for ourselves. So many of us created businesses and never went back to our jobs. So many of us, while they were high on suicide, unfortunately, high in alcoholism, high in drug use,
domestic
violence.
Suicide.
They were like, it was so much happening in the lives of people who are not Hebrews that we were silent. And then George Floyd, it was like, that was what woke us up. Like, okay, well, while you're here, don't get comfortable.
I had an awakening moment when, way before George Floyd, and this was when I was living the American dream, making tons of money, selling clothes, selling things online. I had just bought an Audi. I had my dog. He was like the trophy dog, you know, and I was, what do you call that? Where they just judge you, you know, like profile. Profiled. I had my headscarf on. I had on my sweatpants. I was about to go get some ice cream. We left out of the house, me and my ex, my boyfriend at the time. And this was like several years ago. And girl, I left out of the house, and the guy, we had just gotten in the car with the dog. They drove by when we were getting in the car. And they were like, they pulled back up to the back of the car and was like, knocked on the window and said, "We smell weed in the car. We want to search the car." So my ex was like, nah, y'all ain't searching the car. We didn't smoke. We just got in here. You seen us when we passed by or whatever. So I was just like, whatever. Y'all can search it. Ain't shit in here. Like, you can just search it. So they searched, they was like, you want to put your laptop, all your stuff up, and then come back? I was like, all right, cool. So I put my laptop in my house, I put my dog up, I put up all my stuff. I'll come back outside, two white big ass cops, male cops, run towards me and say, "Put your hands behind your back." Now, they were so-called detaining me. Is that how you detain someone? I've never been detained by the cops before that. I know if I was a different color, you would have said, "Ma'am, we're going to detain you. We're going to put you in handcuffs, but you're not arrested." No, this is all a bait, clickbait, not clickbait, but you know, bait and switch type of situation where you approach me with aggression. I still didn't like react how they expected me to. Maybe they expected me to do something else.
Yeah, that's because they think that we act like them.
I was tackled in the mud because I was like, what's going on? What is going on? They tackled me, girl. I was locked up for 24 hours.
For being black.
For being black, and for obstruction. They said, "Oh, we were gonna let you go, but now we're gonna lock you up for obstruction because you cut one of our officers." Cut? How? I was leaving out of my house in pajamas. I don't have jewelry. I don't grow my nails long. I put all my stuff up. Who did I cut? Where's the blood? Show me. Just, they can make up anything. And I'm looking at the black cops like, please save me.
No, that boy.
They looking like, it's just like this guilty look in their face like, "I'm sorry, I can't help you. I'm just, you know, that's our master, you know." So I was just like, oh my God, why, Lord, why am I going through this? I'm doing so well in my business. All this stuff. It doesn't
matter. None of that matters. None of that matters. You can be the most successful person. What was it, Jay Farrell? Jay Farrell. Like, I know who he is. He's a well-known Hebrew comedian that is hilarious, and he does like all these voices, and he's, I think, on SNL, I think at the time, he goes jogging somewhere in Los Angeles and gets tackled because he's wearing a hood. It's like, people wear hoods while they jog so that they can block out the world and they can sweat.
Exactly.
That's why they do it. That's why hoods are there, to keep us warm.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to be cold outside for you to put on a hoodie. Many people wear hoodies and it can be hot outside, but because that's become the burglar uniform, and then it's like the white burglar uniform.
Yeah, so you know, I was locked up, and then I started to ask around. I figured, you know, this was just gonna be a testimony later, because I was able to pay my way out, but a lot of the girls weren't. So you know what that means? They have to sit in there, or you take the plea.
Oh my gosh.
Plead guilty, and then you pay to get it off your record later, you know? So it's all a money game, a quota game in Atlanta. Atlanta, not Decatur, but by Georgia Tech. Yeah, Georgia Tech area college right in the city. Yeah, girl. And they locked me up, and I asked all the black girls, like, why are y'all in here?
Right.
They was like, obstruction. Every single black girl was in there for obstruction. Then I seen one white girl in there. She was going through withdrawals, shaking, and she was, you know, doing drugs or whatever. Right. So
she was in there because
she was in there because she was really supposed to be in there. But all the black people was in there for obstruction. And then guess what? All the people that were investors were black people. And they were walking around the jail cells to see if each jail cell matched their quota, the number. So you know what? They have to meet a certain number of people to arrest each day.
Oh boy.
And who do you think these who do you think these white people gonna go out there and arrest?
Right.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Our people.
Boy.
You know, and we enslaving our own people.
Y'all wonder why we want to be here.
Right.
You know, we come here, we're not getting racially profiled. We're not treated the best, but we're not treated the worst. We've been poorly treated. And unfortunately, what you see on TV is not the image that we have control over.
That we're living, really.
No. Like if you're seeing someone on TV that has money, please don't assume that I have rapper money. I would love to have rapper money, but I don't.
Exactly.
I came over here and I'll be
we live in a rapper lifestyle here.
Y'all don't even know.
Right.
Like we came over here with about $10,000. That was what we came over here with.
Yeah, that's what I was planning on until Ghana messed up my plans.
Right. You know, so it's like, and even still, like if you don't get a place almost immediately, that money gets sucked away in Airbnb.
Fast.
Eating out because you can't cook. We even stay in a crummy Airbnb together, and it still costs us more. Like
exactly.
It's like so you.
And then people overcharging you for everything until you learn the system, because you don't learn the system until you've been here for like 3 months.
And by the time
you learn, they drain your pockets. So y'all draining our pockets.
Right. We came here for a break, and what we got met with was this. Like many of you will treat us, call us Mzungu. But so like again, I said my husband's Mexican Puerto Rican. He's very fair. He looks like he's white.
Yeah, he does.
And so,
but I knew he wasn't.
So most people can tell. Somebody asked him. Somebody asked him, was he Italian yesterday? The curly hair. But you call us Mzungu like white people or non-black or non-African people.
Man, wake up.
You treat him with more respect because he's not of African descent. So you call me a Mzungu, but you treat him like you make a way for him when you're in Carriacou. You're nicer to him. Yeah, he'll still get overcharged for things, but he's not stupid. And I'm not expecting it. I guess in a sense am naive. I thought that we would come here and in a sense be embraced. Not so like, oh, it's my sister, I'm gonna hug you and love you, but maybe be treated a little bit. Don't treat me as unfairly as you'll treat someone who is here to
it's gonna work against you, because the people that you're overcharging, that's just like you, are here to actually build
with you
Africa to what it could have been if the slave trade hadn't happened.
They took one of your greatest resources and put them all over the world.
Exactly.
And now we're trying to come back with all the knowledge that we have. And some people have lots of money. Again, unfortunately, you're not one of those some people. But my husband and I, as Mzungu as he is, he's down for the cause, so he wouldn't have married me because I'm definitely down for the cause.
I couldn't marry anybody that wasn't down for the cause.
Like, he wouldn't be here. He would not be here if he wasn't down for the cause. So we're just asking to be embraced. I'm not asking you to treat me better than anyone else, but treat me like a real sister. Don't call me Dada and then screw me over.
Exactly.
That hurts.
You know, and it's not every single person, but it's a lot of people. Like I said, you have to learn the system. Like you really have to learn the system. And you got to learn how to keep a straight face, because people will try you. Like they will try you.
Especially if you're a woman. Like when I'm with my husband, they don't try. Like especially like in a Bajaji, we've gone somewhere. My husband be like, "No, get out the car, get out the car." Like we'll call another one. So we just use both.
I had to get tough because a Bajaji just tried me the other day. Where I just told Maya this, but he tried me like I was telling him, you know, get to the street that I'm at right now, right? And he had no idea where it was. So he just dropped me off 2 minutes away and was like, we here.
I know where I live.
I said, I know where I live, sir. I asked you, do you know where you're going? You want me to pay you $3,000 for this?
Right.
You know, which is what it was worth to actually get me to where I was.
Right.
And oh, it's a low battery. So he was like, I was like, sir, I'm gonna call up a job. I'm gonna call the boat up. Cause he didn't think that I knew the system. You know, he thought I was new here. I'm a tourist. I don't know the system. I said, listen, you ain't gonna get me to where I gotta go. Let me call my boater. So I called him on Apple Pay, paid already. And then I had the boater coming, and then when he realized, oh, she knows the system, but I'm still gonna get what I came to get, he was like, he looked me in my eyes like a freaking devil and was like, give me my money. I said, give you what? I ain't giving you nothing. Give me my time back that you wasted.
There's a lot of that.
And then he was like, and I said, fuck out my face.
Right.
Like, you got the wrong one. I'm not a fighter. I don't want to fight a guy.
They're used to docile women.
But like, I'm not one of these women, like, don't try me. If I have to get out of character, I will.
Right.
So I said, keep it moving, sir. And he was looking at me. I said, you could keep looking at me all you want to. I don't care.
You can stand right here. I'm going to sit on this boat and drive away.
So you have, I wonder if we have shadows. Okay, yeah, but you just have to be able to hold your own, especially as a woman. Even if you have a husband, if he's not there, to be able to just hold your own at times.
I learned from him. If I'm going to go somewhere, I just use Bolt. Because that's the price that they're going to pay. And they've even tried to overcharge me with Bolt by going the wrong way. If you get lost, that's on you. I know how to get home.
Exactly.
I know how to get back to Ununio. So if you go around, if it says 6,500, you get 6,500. And I was going to tip you. Because I like to tip. I was gonna tip you, so now I'm getting ready to give you 6,000. Go tell Bolt on me.
Exactly.
Go tell Bolt. Tell them what happened. I want them to ask me, because I'm really good with words.
Exactly.
That's why I started Honestly Dark, because I'm the queen of reviews. I like good reviews. I leave bad reviews because it's honest. I'm not, and I try to be impartial. I try to go in each place with the mindset of something may happen. I just want to get good food and good service. And I'm not asking you for backflips. I'm
not gonna lie, I get social anxiety going up to these stands to get food and stuff like that, because I already know they're gonna try to overcharge me, and I gotta grill you and all of this to try to get the right price. Like, I hate having to go through the bargaining. That's one of the things, like, it's just like, oh my God, that's why I hate this negotiating.
I would rather go to a restaurant and overcharge everybody. If I'm gonna go eat, I'm gonna go to Mary Brown and get the overpriced chicken. It's delicious,
and
but everyone's getting overcharged.
And know
it's
not just me. So what's the biggest challenge here for you so far?
It was realizing that we're not as welcome as we thought we would be. That's it. Like that hurt on a level that I don't think only certain people can understand. It would be like if someone from here moved to Atlanta.
I wonder if we're showing up. Yeah, we still.
If someone from here moved to Atlanta, you know, a predominantly Black area in Atlanta, and got mistreated consistently, they wouldn't rent to you. And these are Black people who won't rent to you, who won't speak to you, who don't care if you don't speak the language, who won't really help you, and if they help you, they charge you an arm and a leg. And then once you've given them your hard-earned money, they want nothing to do with you. That's the experience that I've had over and over again, and it's not just me. I've spoken with so many people.
Yeah, it's a lot of women that want to tell me their story. Like, I met a girl at the party yesterday. She said she wanted to tell me her story, so I'm gonna get her on here too, because it's just like, we gotta stop this, and we have to change the narrative, and you know, like I said, build a new Africa where it's more productive and more welcoming to diaspora. Because I don't want, you know, people to have to come out here and go through the same things that we did. That's why
we're here. We're here trying to pave the road for other people, but unfortunately the government's making it quite hard for us to be here. And I know they're like, if these people who are like coming from India or Pakistan or China or Iran or wherever they're coming from, they're staying here and they're established. How are they able to stay here?
Yeah.
And we're not.
Who is that? Hold it.
But like we were just saying, the hardest part was that. So it's like, we're coming over here. If we're coming here, believe that I can say with 95% of us or 90% of us, we're coming over here wanting to connect with the people who are from here. So we're just asking you to, if we have our arms extended towards you, reach back to us. And if you get to know us, we're awesome people. We're so funny and we're so caring, and we've been through so much that we can relate to you so much more than you believe.
And if not, we're just gonna really make the opportunities for ourselves and just learn how to backdoor through the system.
Cut you out. We
and then, you know,
we don't want to be like all the other people who come here.
Yeah, the people who are smart enough to, I think my daughter's up. The people who are smart enough to, you know, team up with us. Like, you're going to go to big places,
higher heights,
because we're not here to just exploit. Like we said, we're here to pull people in with us. You know, just giving people advice on, you know, what should they expect when they come here, and you know, how to navigate through this process.
Expect the unexpected. Expect to be overcharged. Expect there to be a cultural and language barrier. Expect to eat a lot of chicken and fries. Expect to crave American food that you'll never have again if you don't go home or if you don't make it yourself. But there are people out here who are from here, and people who are from wherever you're from who are here, who are waiting for you. We're waiting for you to come and make our presence bigger and more known, because we want to help you. I want to help you. So reach out to me, honestly. Consultations, I don't even charge. I like to give people information. Information should be free. If you need help with navigating the city, so many of us are here who've been here. Even just the 3 months that I've been here, I've learned so much. So I can extend myself and say that I'm willing to help you out.
Let me go get my daughter. I'll do that. Yeah. So, what was we saying?
What I say to people who are coming in.
Oh yeah. So what would your advice be?
We're here for you.
Yeah.
We are here for you. The diaspora, we're here for you. Oh yeah. I haven't had any bad experiences, but I have heard. I mean, I've had a few like little...
Let me just say this, don't cling to just the YouTubers to try to help you.
And that's what I've heard.
Because a lot of people feel as if, you know, they're superstars and they're out of reach, you know, and I wouldn't reach out to the YouTubers. I would say join Facebook
and
groups.
Listen out for us. We're everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
You hear us in stores talking, not speaking the lick of Swahili. Or if we do, we sound like Americans.
And you be able to pick up on it. But what I've learned is like the people that I just meet out and about and on, you know, different groups, like we will,
WhatsApp groups,
you know, align with one another and resonate with one another, and it's just be like a natural vibe. And we actually happy to see one another, because it's just like,
oh my gosh,
you from America?
I'm always like, I was walking through Palm Village.
It's still going.
The little mall
I just
area.
went there yesterday.
And I saw this family. I knew they were bruised. I could just tell. It was like the dad, the mom, and they're like little chickadees. And I just kept smiling at them, probably like, why is this random lady? I just kept looking at them smiling, because it was just like, you don't realize how much you miss your clan, your tribe, until you're in a place where they're not. It's kind of like, you know, when you go start a new corporate job and everybody around you is white, and you go to lunch cafeteria and there's that one other black person eating lunch, and you just like, okay, I found a friend. There's safety in that. I'm not saying I feel unsafe here, because I have never felt unsafe here, but guard your phone, because they will steal your cell phone.
Oh yeah, when you're like not just on your phone in the middle of the street. Like, I don't think people will be as brazen to do it. I think
people get their phone snatched just like out of their hand.
Really? Where?
Like in a Bajaji.
Oh, in a Bajaji. That's what I've heard. Like in the car, if you're like on the edge, or your window is down. Like, they do that in Jamaica too. They will snatch your phone, you know. But I haven't. I think that's just discernment though, especially when you're driving through an area that's less privileged. You don't want to go in there with your phone you know, just
because what you have is flashy. Believe it or not,
exactly.
My iPhone 7 Plus is flashy because it's an iPhone. They don't know that it's not new. I don't have a new iPhone. I can't afford a new iPhone.
I was gonna ask you what you think people should be aware of. That was a good advice because I was gonna put that on one of my videos. Yeah. So what should they be prepared for coming here? Like,
you're probably gonna sweat a lot. You're from a place that's cold. Be ready to sweat. You're gonna be thirsty, but in a good way. Like the sun nourishes my skin here. Like I don't need as much lotion, not as ashy. But just be aware, like I said, be aware that we're here and we're looking for you. We're looking around for you. Right. So when you're in the stores, like most expats are everywhere, but most expats seem to live in Bezzy. So if you're near Bezzy Beach and you're at Shoppers, just listen out, because I guarantee you at any given time, one of us is in there and we're looking for you.
Exactly.
She said join some groups, keep your personal effects away from your windows. I have a very large, very scary dog, so people like in where I live, you have to break into like a huge wall and to get over that wall and then get to my dog. Like so, but don't leave like electronics near windows, because the windows here don't lock like that. They lock, but usually you have them open because you want this beautiful breeze. People have gotten things stolen out of their houses and they didn't even come in their house. They just reached through the windows. Like I've been here like just recently. I've heard about 3
anywhere
stories.
Though, like you wouldn't do that in America too, huh?
I never thought about it. I have my
I would do it.
Where the way I live room is set up. It's the wind. I have
because in New York we have burglar bars, so nobody can.
They stick their hands in through the bars. I have all the
but I would never put the freaking phone right there.
Well, no, like I have like my couch is here, enough space for you to just be like, oh, okay. And you could probably reach in and grab if I have my laptop there. My husband was like, if you're gonna leave it on the couch, just leave it in the center of the couch where people can't reach it. But again, my dog is quite scary, so I've let my guard down, but I don't want to be that person that comes back and my stuff is gone.
But see, here you don't really face like mugging,
right? I was
stuff like that.
Like to say, I've never felt afraid. I've never, not one time thought I was about to get robbed. I have handed my phone to a complete stranger and asked him to give me directions, like or read my Swahili and Google Translate. I have never thought that I was getting ready to get robbed. I was getting ready to get raped. Like
they wouldn't do it like right there in front of your face because it's a religious community. I think they don't want to look in your eyes while they're doing the crime, but they will sneak in your house, you know, or sneak through your windows,
if you're not there, stuff like
or
that.
Or grab it while, you know, it's in the passing by.
Like, when they can get caught, because there's a lot of shame associated with being caught.
Yeah, exactly.
But honestly, I have never felt so safe in my life. I call myself a suburban princess. I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago. This is why I sound like this. Like I went to good schools, and you know, my mother raised us well, and I can be naive. But I do know what a threat looks like, and I've been again all over the city, and I have never been anywhere where I've been out at night. People are like, well, somebody stole my passport off of me. Well, why would you carry your passport with you? Like that doesn't even make any sense.
At night.
At night, right?
I don't carry anywhere.
No, I don't. Like you keep that in a secure place, somewhere hidden in your place, and that's it with any country. That's not where your country of origin. Even in the U.S.,
you gotta have discernment no matter where you
go. So if you have no discernment, reach out to us and we can help you. We can help guide you. I'm not saying stay in captivity, but I will say if you lack discernment, reach out to us, because we've experienced a lot in the short amount of time that I've been here, for except 4 months. And I feel confident that
I've been here 4 months too.
Nice. That I could guide anyone around, even like finding a place to live or where you don't want to go. You know, where to find cheap fruit, like how much something should cost. Those kinds of things matter, because you will get overcharged, you will. Yeah. But they like to negotiate, and that's the thing. If you love negotiating, this is the place for you. My husband loves to negotiate. Like, he lives for that crap.
Men love doing that. I'm just like, oh, the pressure. Oh.
Right. It makes me,
you know, then like I said, that's why I just go to a place where it's already priced. I ain't got to go through it. Just give it to me.
The price still exists.
You know,
so, like I said, I use both. Uber doesn't exist here anymore because the government wanted more money, so Uber pulled out. So if you're gonna get around, Bolt helps you. Like you come to the
But they don't have any more Bolt XLs.
I didn't even know they had that.
So keep that in mind, like the bigger car. So if you come in with a big family, you may have to rent like a private car or taxi or something like that.
Like, so if you are watching this and you're interested in coming here, please reach out to me. I'll give her my information.
I'm gonna leave it below.
And I will be happy to help you navigate getting here, getting from the airport to your Airbnb or wherever you're gonna stay. And then once you're here, I'm available. Like, I don't really have much to do. So, and I like to help people. So if I can help someone transition from the plane to their Airbnb more easily, because mine was 6 hours. That was a 6-hour happening before I got to my Airbnb in Kingaboni, and I didn't even know where Kingaboni was. I went the wrong way.
Wow.
So that was the whole thing.
Okay, y'all. Well, that about wraps it up today. I'm glad I got to connect with Sharhonda. I'm about to say Sharhonda.
I get called that all the time. So I'm
the H is silent. Sharhonda. So you guys, I'll leave her information below, and stay tuned for more stories from me. I'll have some more people on here soon. Nice. But thank you for
thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome. So one love. Bye.